phone that reminds me what time it is. All right, so thank you all. I will call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum present.
Okay.
All right, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hold on, I got to get the flag here. Well, I had it. There we go.
I
I
pledge
pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
of the United States of America
and to the
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, that wasn't too bad.
That might
All
be the
right.
next one yet.
No agenda adjustments are allowed tonight, so we'll skip over that. We do have a
Okay.
period of comments from the floor if there are any non-board members or administrators that would like to say something. Now would be your opportunity. That would be Sharon or Christy for a day. No comments? And we'll move on to old business. So a motion to approve a motion that the warrant for assessment of tax and the assessment schedule and notice of installments for each member municipality prepared by the treasurer for fiscal year 2021-2022 be approved and is issued in form presented to this meeting, and that the treasurer be authorized and directed to deliver to each member municipality its warrant for assessment of tax and its tax assessment schedule and notice of installments. Further, that warrants for assessment of the tax and the assessment schedules and notices of installments shall each be signed by a majority of the school board, and that such signatures may be made electronically by execution of counterparts or in person at the convenience of the members of the school board. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, Andy, did I hear today that the supplemental budget passed?
It did. So that's why we have the next agenda item.
Right, okay.
So just for clarity purposes, we did this at the last meeting. However, thanks to Bob, and I don't, neither Scott nor I caught it, there was an error in the Sabatis assessment. And so consequently, now understanding that by law, we actually don't necessarily need to vote on the warrants. However, we did, and so we need to come back and re-vote on the warrants to make sure that they're appropriate. So this is for the warrants that I sent you out based upon the original ED 279. We will get a new 279, but that's what the new business is about. So,
All right.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote.
Bob,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes,
Robbie,
Yes.
Joan,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Move on to do business. Entertain 4.1 to approve a motion to authorize the superintendent in the event that RSU number 4 receives more state education subsidy than the amount included in its budget, to use all of the additional state subsidy to decrease the local cost share expectation as defined in Title 20A, Section 15690. Motion, please.
So moved.
So moved.
second,
Moved and seconded. Discussion.
So as you guys are, as Robbie brought up, the legislature passed the supplemental budget today. That now sits on the governor's desk to be signed. My assumption, I mean, it was the governor's supplemental budget, so I'm 99.9% sure she's going to sign it. So I think if you all remember at a few board meetings ago, I shared what it would look like. What that budget's going to do is change the mill rate from 7.9 to 7.29. That'll result in a $500,000 shift from the required local share to the state share. What that'll mean is that every single town will see a reduction. I can't remember the exact amount, but the reduction actually means not just a reduction of the variance that we currently have, but actual reduction beyond that. I don't remember how much they were at this point in time, but it was pretty significant, at least for Litchfield and Sabattis. Unfortunately, Sharon and Wales, I think it was around $4,000, but still no increase will end up being passed on. That being said, we don't have a new 279. And so until we get that, this motion authorizes us. And it's really about making sure our taxpayers know that all of that money that gets sent is going to be turned back over to relieve property tax. So when we get a new 279, I will then redraft the warrants and send them all to you to be signed.
So that's important. Whether or not the ones that we just approved under new business get signed, I don't know if you're going to plan on sending those out.
I am. Yeah, we need to because we voted on it. So I will get those out tomorrow.
So if you have an electronic signature, if you send an email authorizing them to affix your signature to those warrants, otherwise, please stop in and sign them as soon as you can. Or, all right, they weren't sent out again under DocuSign.
They will be. I will send them out tomorrow.
But please get them signed. We need a majority of the board to sign them, to make them legal. They'll go out. Sharon, and I'm sure the other officials in the other towns are aware that another one's coming that will be less before they go ahead and set their tax rate for the town.
Well, and my plan is, to be quite honest, is Scott and I talked about it today. When we redraft, when we finally get a new 279 and can redo the warrants, I will actually do a traveling road show to get you all to sign. Scott and I will drive around to get signatures, because I think it's important that we have that new one, a majority of the board on there for sure. So.
Okay, any other discussion? And I'll call for the vote.
Bob?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Robbie?
Yes.
Joan?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
And Stephanie?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And before we adjourn, this will be our last Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Okay, under the legislation was passed, unless there's some kind of event that prevents us meeting in person, like another COVID restriction or something like that, or somebody can't attend and we need to have them in attendance in order to get a quorum and vote, then that person can come. It would be interesting if we didn't have a quorum and 3 people were at home, wanted to dial in. As soon as we have a quorum with one of them, does that mean the other 2 can't join because we no longer need them for a quorum? We will reach that. We will cross that bridge when that time comes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
quite
I don't
possible
know.
that we'll have technical difficulties and 2 of them will be dropped somehow, but I don't know what will happen.
Well, and we'll have to have new policy surrounding this. I'm waiting for policy from MSMA regarding this. The bill ended up with some amendments. It was a little funky. One of the things to note, Bob's right, we'll be meeting in person again. I will be sending out within the next week or so, if you remember correctly, we have a board meeting schedule. I just didn't put locations. I will be sending that out within the next week with those locations. Majority will be at the high school, but we will actually hold a board meeting in each building this year, like we did last year or the year before.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I will do is if anybody wants to tour a building beforehand, I'll be there for that. But that'll come out, and we will still continue to live stream our meetings, which I think will be a good thing. So.
All right. Vicky?
I think
Bob?
Vicky,
Real quick, at the high school, is it still in the home ec room or?
it'll still be in, it's the health
Okay,
room now,
health
but
room. Okay,
yeah, it'll be there. That's my plan anyway. The
okay.
other option is we've opened up a wall up above, so we might go there as well, depending on which room. One of the hard parts now with that room is that it's alternative ed. So moving things in and out is a little more difficult. So I'm looking at spaces throughout the high school to decide. We used to, Bob and Robbie and Joan will remember, I think we met in the library.
Yeah, in the library.
Oh, yes. Yes, we did for many years.
Yep.
Yeah. So that may be something I think about specifically
Yeah.
for the fall, as the library is air conditioned.
Okay.
So,
So
Yeah.
Joseph, glad you could join us. We've already voted on the 2 motions that were on our special meeting.
Okay, yeah, I just opened up my mail and was like, oh no.
I know how that goes, believe me. All right, so
Listen,
don't
everyone,
have
have a
other
wonderful
comments.
summer and a very nice, good, happy New Year. I'm moving ahead all right. 4th of July.
all right.
Thank you,
Thank you
Joan.
all.
Thank you,
We'll
Joan.
see ya in
Bye.
August. Hopefully we won't have to get together sooner than that. But if we
Yeah,
do,
my
hear
hope
from
is
us.
August 26th or whatever the date was is our next meeting. However, you just never know in this day and age. So
CPT is going to meet.
CPT at some point may need to meet depending on what changes with the if anything changes with the framework. But at this point in time, the state of civil emergency gone, and no more framework. We don't have any work at this point. So
Okay, because I listened today and they talked about mask and pool testing
Mm.
in order to get back 5 days a week. So that is,
which is interesting because that all that's gone, and we had made the decision, if you remember correctly, not to pool test.
Commissioner
Nice.
said, we're going to pool test. DHHS Commissioner Ambrose said today, along with the governor, that we're going to pool test. And if people, hopefully there'll be enough people vaccinated, so masks may not be required, but they're going to stay with the federal CDC guidance, and pool testing she said was going to be a major component in being able to go back 5 days a week. So
Interesting. So that's new rhetoric because
I'm at summer school 5 days a week.
Yep.
And today we went mask free and no distancing.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. And
So-
we will too. I mean, I went out today and let them know that we can actually unmask if they choose at this point, certainly. And that's what's in our fall plan at this point is, if people want to mask, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. We'll have them on hand if we need it. The pool testing thing is interesting. I have some thoughts about that, but I'll refrain from that until we actually.
well, it might not matter whether we have any thoughts or not, according to Commissioner Lambro.
We may not have a choice. Yeah.
Right.
We'll
That's
see.
odd.
All right. We got
All
to
right.
we're getting out of our special meeting discussions. We don't want to do that. All right. Y'all have a great summer.
You
Thank
too.
Yeah.
You all as
Bye,
well.
everyone.
Hold on, Bob, you gotta declare the meeting adjourned.
Yeah. Well, the meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Good night,
thank you.
everyone.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.